14 states are offering stimulus payments as an answer to high gas prices and soaring inflation. As some economists warn, stimulus payments are what artificially propped up the economy, leading to those rising costs. Joining us right now, the dean of the business school at the University of Miami, John Quelch. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Great to see you. Good morning, Jen. First, let's talk about the states doing this. We've got California residents, 23 million of them, that are going to receive this inflation relief at the tune of about $1,000. That's going to cost the state billions. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed this law, one-time $250 tax refund for single taxpayers and $500 for joint taxpayers. We've got New Jersey, Idaho, various states right now, Illinois, considering these proposals. Where are these states getting all this money?
Jan, I think many of the state governments pulled in the reins in 2020 in the face of COVID. And in 2021, there was a considerable rebound in many of the economies, and that's resulted in the income tax revenues from corporations as well as individuals being higher than was projected in 2021 in many cases. And so they are, in some respects, spending the surplus that they didn't anticipate coming in from last year's tax revenues. It's also worth noting that many of the governors and legislators involved in these initiatives are up for re-election in November.
That's true. That's a very good point. $5 trillion was released into the economy during the height of the pandemic. So there's definitely two schools of thought here. But even the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco says stimulus payments had a quantifiable effect, adding 3% to the U.S. inflation rate by the end of 2021. So won't these smaller payments drive inflation even higher?
They will if they are spent immediately by the recipients. And if they're not spent by the recipients and put into their savings accounts, then why are they being distributed in the first place?
Correct. So you just answered that question right there. The Biden administration has previously been in favor of direct stimulus checks, although it has struggled to pass even pandemic supporting legislation that views that as vital. So do you think there's going to be this fourth federal stimulus package for all Americans?
Very unlikely. If the Biden administration has not even been able to get agreement on the gas tax reduction, the federal gas tax reduction, it's very unlikely that any stimulus of this type would be executable at the federal level. And that's probably what is stimulating many of these state legislators and governors to take up the initiative. And by the way, the attitude of many progressives is that rollbacks of gas taxes do not affect or help the poorest people who are not owning cars. And secondly, the people who are in favor of the Green New Deal certainly don't like the idea of subsidizing gas tax reductions in order to facilitate people continuing to drive. So that's one reason, again, why we've seen a shift from the focus on gas tax rollbacks to these inflation-fighting stimuli, direct to consumers, direct to taxpayers.
John, what's the answer here? What do we need to avoid a full-blown recession and also to sort of cool down this red-hot inflation that we have going on?
So consumers, Jan, are very intelligent and adjust their buying behavior pretty efficiently according to the prices they see at the pump or in the supermarket. And I'm not sure that the intervention of the federal government is necessary, or of the state governments is necessary to facilitate further help being provided when the Federal Reserve is obviously moving in the other direction and trying to get inflation under control, which has to be a number one priority.
John Quelch from the University of Miami, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.